Legit or not for this 120, Dylan. Antonio Brown became just the second receiver ever to record 4 straight seasons with 100 or more receptions. Marvin Harrison, he is the other. Legit or not, like Marv, Antonio Brown is bound for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think that's legit. I think he's going. I think in an era of receivers, he has already shown that he is in that top tier of receivers and has been for each of these 4 seasons that he's caught over 100. I think he's probably the most complete receiver in football who does it with not exactly the same God-given gifts that Julio Jones because of his size, other guys because of their speed, the whole package. Antonio Brown, it's just work, great route running, and a tremendous desire to go up and get a football, especially when you consider the chemistry he has with Big Ben. Just the beautiful music they've made through the aerial attack in Pittsburgh since he's really come into his own. In these 4 years, I think football is one of those where I think baseball, when you start talking the Hall, it's always sustained. It's like, well, if he could sustain that success, if we could get those numbers prolonged over another 5 years, if we could get a 12-year sample size where this guy is really one of the best in the business, well, then he's on his way to Cooperstown. Football is one of those where you can kind of smash together some dominance and still get to Canton. Ask Gale Sayers. We talked about it. We had a discussion. What if J.J. Watt never plays it down for the rest of his life? Does J.J. Watt, with how dominant he's been on that side of the ball, does he get off to the Hall in Canton? It's an interesting one. I don't really think we're going to see Antonio Brown really slow down that much. Is he going to be in the 130s going forward for the next 3 years? Maybe not. But is he going to be up around 100 for the next 3-4 years, barring any injury? I think he is. You already see it. Already 61 touchdowns. Already almost 10,000 yards. Ththese are numbers that guys in the Hall don't have. And I know it's a pass-happy era in football right now, and that these stats are skewed up, and we have to kind of take them with a little bit of a grain of salt. But this is not a tier 2 wide receiver in football over the last handful of years. This is a premier guy who is looking up at no one, and for that reason, I think he's definitely on his way to the Hall.
Yeah, that's the interesting part of the conversation. We were having it about J.J. Watt. Terrell Davis is another guy who had dominance for 3 or 4 years with the Broncos, won Super Bowls, but it was
something Watt or Brown don't have.
Very short time period there. What if Antonio Brown never plays another game after Week 17 this year? Is he a Hall of Famer then, or does he have to add to the resume?
I think he's got to add a little bit. That 10,000 number's pretty big. Okay. He's right on the precipice of that. I think if he can get up over 10,000, you get up over in the realm of 70 touchdowns, that's going to help. Is there a way that he gets in if he, the career's over after the season? Sure, there is. I think what can also help him, which helps anybody, is they make a run at things. He gets to play in a Super Bowl. Right. It's just something we haven't seen before. All the greats, we want to see them on the greatest stage. If he can give us that and the numbers to boot, he's going to have a gold jacket.